Hey everyone, I'm Mitch.
I'm Austin.
This is Super Platinum Achievement, and Naughty Dog may be moving on from a big-time game. We're going to talk about that. But first, if you guys are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button down below. We really appreciate it. Also, at the end of this video, if you liked it, give us a big thumbs up by hitting that like button, and also share with your friends as well. But yeah, so Neil Druckmann today said that Naughty Dog felt good with the ending of Uncharted 4. They wrote it off, they put their final stroke on it, and are done with the Uncharted series. Is that the truth? Is that the end? Maybe it is for Naughty Dog, but is it the end for Sony altogether? Who knows? I think Uncharted could possibly live, but Naughty Dog may have said, we don't want to do anymore, we want to do something new, and Sony might give it to somebody else to do something.
I mean, they have the right to do that, but maybe it just, Sony even is in agreement of, Uncharted ended where it needed to end, and we don't need to keep digging up more treasure in past. And
digging up more horses in the bush.
Yep.
That's the saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that could also be the case, and that was another thing they mentioned. He said we're very blessed to have Sony as our publisher because they let them have that creative input and let them say, you know what, we don't want to do it anymore, we want to move on, and Sony said, okay.
Obviously, they can do whatever they want because, pretty much every game they release is practically a masterpiece.
It's
so
always nominated for Game of the Year.
Even back to Crash Bandicoot days, that was, for back then, phenomenal gaming. So I'm okay with it, I think, because I don't want to them keep rehashing, Uncharted, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's just not as good as it used to be.
We don't want to see the Halo effect, where Halo should have ended with 3, and then keep milking that cow, and it no longer gets good. Because Uncharted 4 was a great ending, especially to Nathan Drake's story. Mm-hmm. I can see how they go somewhere else with Cassie Drake or something like that, but at the same time, it's like, maybe they just want to move on to some brand new IP, and that's what Sony's been doing in general lately, that they've been doing a great job with. I mean, already Horizon is a brand new IP still within the last 10 years that's taking off. We've got Returnal now as a brand new IP. We've got Ghost of Tsushima, all these brand new games that they can do, and I think Naughty Dog wants to do the same thing. They saw that Sucker Punch moved on from Infamous, and they're like, we'd like to move on from
Uncharted.
Exactly.
Sucker Punch was, Infamous for a while, and then came out of nowhere at the Ghost of Tsushima and blew everyone's mind. So, we know Naughty Dog is working on several projects. I know we've talked about it. Probably, Last of Us 3's maybe kind of in limbo apparently these days, so it sounds like they can't agree on a script because they want to have a script that pleases everyone or everyone's.
Yeah, they said that, Last of Us 3 could definitely happen, but they have to have a story that they all love and that they all are passionate about and that tells a story of love, is what he said, because they're all about that. So it has to be something that the entire team agrees upon and everybody is passionate about, and apparently they haven't landed on that because last year they said they were in pre-production, but now he's saying this, which gives us the feeling that they had a script in place and then it was scrapped, or they're just trying to throw things at us to surprise us with a release here in the next, or a announcement, I should say, in the next year or so.
Yeah.
Who knows? But there's also rumors that they're working on another game.
Yeah, so obviously we know they're doing, we'll stay with Last of Us for a minute, Factions multiplayer. That was ripped from Last of Us 2, and they actually made it into a more full-fledged multiplayer online game. So we know that is coming, and we think it's coming this summer. On the 10th anniversary of the original Last of Us. That's our guess here. And obviously we know they're working heavily with HBO right now to produce the Last of Us TV series. Which is
doing pretty dang well, apparently.
It's pretty good. So. Yeah, the first episode got a 10 out of 10. The second one got a 9 out of 10. It's a 9.4 on IMDb, which is insane. So
yeah, one of the highest rated shows of all time.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good.
One of the most viewed shows ever.
It actually... It had the highest growth from the first episode to the second episode, apparently. A 22% increase for the second episode on release time, which is insane for any show. Usually it always goes down after the first episode, so it's like the first show to ever do that, which is pretty cool. And we know they are working really closely with that, so, who knows what they're doing. But also,
there were some rumors from the developers inside Naughty Dog that said they were working on a fantasy style game.
Yes, and we've seen a couple teases because when they were showing off, maybe it was Last of Us, I don't remember. In the background, you saw someone kind of dressed up in like a Renaissance-y looking garb, and everyone's like, "Hey!" The Leo, the meme. What's that? And they never said anything about it, and then it was just kind of a rumor that they're working on a fantasy game. So people think it exists. I think we both think it exists. They just haven't unveiled it yet. So
yeah, because Naughty Dog, I mean, as we know, loves to move on. They don't milk things a ton. We had Crash that they stuck with, for a while, and then they moved on. Somebody else bought that from them.
Yeah. I think Activision has that.
Yeah, Activision has that now. Got Jak and Daxter, same thing. They moved on.
I wish we'd have another one.
Naughty Dog doesn't milk a franchise. Uncharted, they've moved on. Last of Us, apparently they're very willing to move on from. They want to do something new. And apparently, according to rumors, that is a new fantasy-style game, which I am all for. That's my favorite genre is fantasy. So
yeah, the real question is it a multiplayer game? Is it a single player game? Like
their
we've
first
seen.
delve into open world, I think is very possible because that's the direction everything's going these days, and Naughty Dog hasn't really done one yet.
Yeah, I mean, Last of Us 2, I think, was their closest to open-ish world. Obviously, there was big areas you could explore, but it wasn't. You could always go wherever you wanted. It was still
the area in Seattle was the closest you could get.
Yeah, that was still a linear story. You still had to go walk a line to progress. So it would be interesting to have an RPG fantasy game coming from them. Maybe with the mechanics, that we're used to with the climbing, the fighting, all that kind of stuff. So that could be pretty fun. And the great storytelling, because they're good at that too.
That's what they do. We know it's going to have an amazing story, hopefully. But tell us what you guys think. What do you think they're working on? Do you think Uncharted is, in fact, done? Do you think that Naughty Dog's just pulling our leg and they're going to be doing something elsewhere with Uncharted? Or do you think Sony's going to move it on to somebody else? Or do you think that it really is done and that what is said is what is actual truth? Let us know what you think. Are they working on a new game? We'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you're new here, remember to hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. And we sure hope to see you again here on
Super Platinum Achievement.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, look at us, America.
America.